In the quiet city of Akron, Ohio, where life usually hummed with the familiar rhythm of laughter, church bells, and basketball chairs, something dark crept into the night of October 31st, 2020. A night meant for costumes and candy, but one that would end in horror. Inside a modest home, beneath the soft hum of a ceiling fan, a woman named Ericka Weems, who was in her late 30s, bright, compassionate, and loved by nearly everyone who crossed her path, was preparing to start a new chapter in her life. She had spent her years helping others, raising children that weren't even hers, and spreading kindness like sunlight. But that night, her light was extinguished, suddenly, cruelly, and without warning. She had just returned home after spending the evening with her father. The world outside buzzed with Halloween excitement, but inside her home, silence soon replaced laughter. Not long after she left her father's house, her phone went quiet. Calls unanswered, texts ignored. For a woman who never stayed out of touch, the silence was deafening and suspicious. Days later, when her family went to check on her, they stumbled upon a scene so still it almost looked staged, like time itself had stopped out of respect for the tragedy that had unfolded. There she was, lifeless, sitting on her bed, her phone still in her hand as if she tried to call for help that never came. She hadn't been robbed, she hadn't been fighting anyone, and yet someone had entered her home and shot her 3 times in the head. No forced entry, no struggle, no shell casings, just death. Clean, deliberate, and chillingly silent. The irony? This was a woman who dedicated her life to protecting children and uplifting her community, yet no one was there to protect her when danger came knocking. When the police arrived, they found no clear answers, just more questions. No weapon, no suspect, no clear motive. Her killer had vanished into the night like a shadow that never existed. And so what began as a simple Halloween evening turned into a haunting mystery, one that still lingers in the cold corners of Akron, echoing a single, unrelenting question: who would want to silence a woman whose life was built on love? This is her story. Akron, Ohio, a city that had raised its fair share of dreamers and doers, also birthed a woman whose heart was big enough to cradle an entire community. Her name was Ericka Weems, born on October 3rd, 1983, to Brenda and Daryl Weems, a couple whose home overflowed with love, laughter, and lessons about giving. Brenda, a nurse with healing hands and the heart that never learned how to say no, spent her life mending wounds, both visible and unseen. To the children of Akron, she was more than a nurse. She was a second mother, a safe place. But even angels get tired, and when Brenda passed, the light in Akron dimmed, though not completely. Her daughter, Ericka, had already picked up the torch. Ericka, the middle child, the heartbeat between her older sister Charmaine and younger brother Brandon, was a firecracker wrapped in sunshine. As a child, she could be as pesky as a fly at a summer picnic, always buzzing with questions, laughter, and mischief. Yet, as years melted into maturity, she became Charmaine's anchor, her confidant, her forever friend. At St. Vincent Grade School, Ericka's charm was magnetic. She could cheer with the thunder of 10 girls or shoot a basketball with the precision of a hawk in flight. Her energy was infectious, her spirit electric. When she graduated from John Boostall High School in 2002, her dream was simple yet noble: help the children. She joined the Ohio State University, switching from early childhood education to human development and family services, because she wanted to understand not just how to teach, but how to heal souls. Life, however, is cruelly ironic. Just when she was building her own future, fate snatched her mother away. The same year Ericka graduated, Brenda died. A blow that echoed through Akron like thunder on a cloudless day. But Ericka didn't crumble. She channeled her grief into purpose, choosing to love louder, give harder, and live brighter. Because that's what her mother would have done. By 2007, she had earned her master's in teaching from Kent State. And by 2012, she was standing tall as a business owner. Her daycare, Recess Child Development Center, became a sanctuary for little minds. To the children, she was Miss Ericka, the woman who taught ABCs with hugs, patience, and cookies. And when she wasn't guiding children, she was uplifting her community. Ericka co-founded the Young Black Professionals Coalition, mentoring high school and college students. Workshops, seminars, guidance, she poured into others until her own cup ran empty. To the world, she was radiant. To her family, irreplaceable. To her friends, the definition of loyalty. But even bright stars can burn out suddenly, sometimes without warning. By 2020, life had thrown her another curveball. The pandemic shuttered her beloved daycare. Yet in her trademark optimism, she smiled through it. Maybe it's time for something new, she told her family. She planned to reopen in her hometown of Akron, closer to the people she loved most. She was happy, almost debt-free, almost done paying off her home, and on the verge of starting a new chapter. But that chapter never began. It was October 31st, 2020, a crisp Halloween evening. Pumpkins glowed on porches, children laughed in costumes, and somewhere in Akron, the air carried the scent of endings. Ericka had spent the day with her father, Daryl, watching an Ohio State game. The two shared laughs, snacks, and the kind of easy silence that only family can understand. As the night deepened, her phone buzzed. She smiled faintly, said she was going to meet a friend, and promised to call once she got home. That call never came. By Sunday, silence had replaced Ericka's laughter. Her phone, once a lifeline of connection, went straight to voicemail. Messages unread. Calls unanswered. Worry began to wrap around her family like a vice. By Monday, November 2nd, the silence had turned to dread. Charmaine's heart thudded with a terrible intuition. She and her husband drove to Ericka's home. Everything looked normal, too normal, like a staged scene in a nightmare. But when they circled to the back, the door was ajar, swaying slightly in the wind, as if someone had left in a hurry. Inside, the air was heavy, unnaturally still. Upstairs, in Ericka's bedroom, time stopped. There she was, sitting on her bed, a cup in one hand, her phone in the other, forever frozen in that moment. Ericka Weems had been shot 3 times in the head. The room was hauntingly quiet. The only witness was a half-drained cup and the soft hum of unanswered calls still echoing through the walls. Police rushed to the scene, but answers were scarce. There were no signs of forced entry, no shell casings, no weapon, no struggle. Ericka was wrapped in a towel, as if she had just stepped out of the shower. It was as if the killer had vanished into thin air, a ghost in Akron's fog. Who could have done this? Why would anyone hurt the woman who had done nothing but help others? Irony dripped from every detail. A woman who dedicated her life to protecting children, murdered in the supposed safety of her own home. Her purse was missing, but valuables remained untouched. Investigators were baffled. Theories swirled. Was it random? Or had she known her killer? After all, her neighborhood wasn't the safest, but Ericka wasn't the type to leave her door unlocked. Unless She trusted the person who knocked. Then came the chilling text. Days before her murder, Ericka had written to a friend. I opened the door for a stranger in my towel because I thought it was you. Was it just an eerie coincidence or a prelude to horror? Within days, the story spread like wildfire. LeBron James, who had known the Weems family since childhood, tweeted about her murder, demanding justice. The Cleveland Cavaliers offered a $10,000 reward, later increased to $15,000. Cameras flashed, headlines screamed, but behind the noise was a painful truth. No one knew anything. Weeks turned into months, then months into years. Ericka's family begged for updates, but the case files gathered dust. Charmaine, now both sister and detective, said she felt forced to investigate her own sister's death. The irony was cruel. The woman who had dedicated her life to helping others now needed help no one seemed able to give. 6 months later, heartbreak struck again. Daryl Weems, unable to bear the loss, passed away. His daughter Charmaine believes he died of a broken heart. Nearly 5 years have passed since that cold Halloween night. Ericka's killer still walks free, breathing, eating, laughing, while her family remains trapped in a loop of grief. Her case sits open but silent, like a wound that refuses to heal. Her sister Charmaine refuses to let Ericka's name fade. Her killer is out there, she says, living their life while we're left to live in pieces. Irony again. The woman who lived to bring light into others' lives, now the subject of a mystery shrouded in darkness. The Akron Police Department insists the case remains active, but to those who loved Ericka, words are not enough. They want justice, real, tangible, undeniable justice for a woman whose only mistake may have been opening her door to the wrong person. If you know anything, contact the Akron Police Department. Until then, the question remains suspended in the air. Who killed Ericka Weems? And why did the laughter of Akron's brightest light have to be silenced so soon?